A brand new SMP, 5 crazy challenges, no rules and PvP is on, 14 pro Minecrafters in their prime.
Noob alert.
Oh, I'm on fire. I might burn to death.
I didn't do that, 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 it wasn't me, it wasn't me, bro, it wasn't me, ah, I'm gonna die!
And it begins.
Hello everybody, FlashRabbit here again, and I'm on the Challenge Kingdom server, and I'm stood on top of the epic castle that the Blackstone Knights have built as their entry into the first challenge of the season. And the first challenge of the season, of course, was a building challenge, and we had to build something out of just 2 blocks, granite and diorite. So that's why there's all of this granite and diorite, and can you believe that we've actually pulled it together? Choppy was our Chop, who was our chief designer. Sev was his right-hand builder, and together they placed a heck of a lot of blocks, as you can see. And over there behind my head you can see the Endstone Knights entry, which is also an epic build. Looks absolutely brilliant. I don't think either team needs to be embarrassed about their builds because they're both excellent in their own way. So I've already met Welsknight. He was on the server earlier, and he just came on board just to judge the build. I was lucky enough to be selected to give him the tour of our build, so I hope I did it justice really, because it's a fantastic build and I'd hate to undersell it. So Welsknight has already judged the competition, and yes, we know the results, but you're not going to find out the results until the end of this episode, so make sure that you stay around until the very end, and you'll see what Welsknight decided. Who do you think, looking at the 2 builds, who do you think should win? Do you think it's the Blackstone Knights with this enormous castle with lots of intricate detail and complexity of build, or do you think it should be the Endstone Knights, the Knights of Endstone, who've built a Greco-Roman structure over there? Well, several actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Greco-Roman structures, and again they managed to pack such a huge amount of detail into such a small space. So without further ado, let's crack on with the episode.
So Flash, would you like to show Welsknight around your build first? Wild and I will stay here for secrecy if you have any secret stuff that you want to show.
I'll remember to be careful. Hello, nice to see you, nice to meet you. Do I call you Wells, Mr. Knight, sir?
Like what? Wells is fine. Anything other than sir.
Brilliant.
Bill's fine. Just anything other than sir.
So, as JJ said, we started on the server 7 days ago with absolutely nothing. So we had to go on a mad journey to find granite and diorite. I think when we first heard that we were using granite and diorite, it was a bit of a blow, because it's not generally considered the best, the best looking blocks. So Choppy, our chief designer, came up with this design, and I think personally he's done a wonderful job. Obviously you're a better judge of that than me, I think.
I mean, I would agree. Granite and diorite, not exactly the blocks I first think of when someone's like ideal building blocks. So,
but coming in through the gatehouse, Choppy built a huge gate using logs in a castle that he's designed, and it was fantastic. But of course here we couldn't use any other blocks than diorite and granite, so he had to come up with an inventive way to make a gate. And this portcullis, I think he's done a great job. I think it looks lovely. And what he's also tried to do as well by design is add some shade to the build to give a little texture. As you can see here, you've got the sort of checkerboard effect, which is caused just by shade and shadow. But it does actually look like a different block, and he's done that by design, which I think is really, really clever. Not something I think I'd do. Yeah, it's really,
I like
really
it.
nice. He's a genius, a mad genius, mad genius. I won't tell you how many hours he spent doing this. So coming through into the main area of the castle, we've got some decorative fountains with diorite moon and waterfall. And the main purpose of the castle is a trading hall, essentially. That's what it is, and it gives us a place to trade with our villagers. They've all got their own areas, as you can see. They can wander around freely, so they're not trapped. So we've got their best interests at heart. And then moving through into the library again, sort of granite wonderland, really.
Now, were you allowed to use, I mean, obviously you were allowed to use bookshelves for some stuff, but like if you had wanted to, could you have like done this whole wall in bookshelves, or would that have been breaking rules? Was there like a limit to how many, I guess you could say like practical blocks you could use?
I mean, we're essentially limited to granite and diorite. For the main structure of the castle, it had to be granite and diorite. So this is why, you know, we've added the bookcases more than is necessary, but just for effect. So you may really need to ignore these bookcases.
Gotcha. Okay.
The design brief allowed for different practical things because, of course, we're in survival, so you need survival type things, and it's always good to decorate your build. But the structure had to be super granite and diorite.
And the structure includes with exterior things like outside paths, and main outside, say, statues. Those need to be mainly out of granite, otherwise.
All those hard landscaping things.
Yeah.
We've got a little farm area coming through here.
Gotcha.
There's some lovely pigs. We like our pigs. Yeah.
Got all your animals. Little stables area.
And here we've got the sheep farm, or wool farm, which however you want to call it, really. So we've got all the colours of sheep.
Okay.
So it's a practical. This is just a garden area. Yeah.
Nice little courtyard type
somewhere to chill.
area.
And I've got to say, Chop named this Talon's Beck. The inspiration came from late medieval architecture. He's very, very good in terms of his medieval architecture.
Yeah, I can definitely see the medieval influences
here. He's even
here.
gone to the trouble of putting in the meticulations on the outside here. How are we going to get in there? Let's go. We're going to have to go down and up the staircase, I think.
These battlements are actually very similar to the style I went with in my castle for Hermitcraft Season 5. Like it's not exactly the same design, but it's very, very close. The only difference is instead of using diorite walls here, I used slabs. I mean, and obviously I didn't build it out of diorite, but castle-y type stuff.
I guess when you're looking at late medieval architecture, there's only so much that exists. So I guess you're going to get crossover.
Yeah.
I actually don't know whether your builds influenced him. They may well have done, to be fair.
It's possible. I mean, it's also possible. I mean, when I was building that castle, my influences were almost entirely just historical. You know, looking at actual real-world castles and trying to sort of replicate those details and finding a way to do it in Minecraft. So it's also entirely possible that he just did the exact same thing and was like, "Hey, this kind of looks like." Insert name of real-world castle.
To be fair as well, I think looking at real-world architecture and translating it into Minecraft isn't an easy task, in my view. So I think, you know,
yeah. In many cases, it is definitely not. Just because, you know, proportions, real world architecture is not built on a voxel grid where everything lines up, you know. So yeah, it can be very tricky from time to time for sure. Unless you build on like an absolutely absurd scale where, like, you know, a front door is, you know, 12 blocks tall and 6 blocks wide or something like that.
And I think,
you know,
these
doorknob is 1 block.
These peaked roofs here, I think, as well, a testament to his building skills, because they're not easy. They look, he's made it look easy, but they're definitely not easy to get right.
Yeah, those roofs are, they can be a little tricky. They're like once you know how to do them, they're pretty straightforward, because you're essentially just making like repeating half circles on each side until it reaches a peak. But if you haven't done them often before, then like, yeah, it can be pretty tricky to just like try to figure out on your own for sure. But yeah, they look good.
So, Wells, this is the throne room.
Oh, very nice. Does this make you like my subject?
If you like. If you like, I mean,
I guess it does.
Because I mean, like, if it's my throne, then that would infer that it's my castle. And if you're living here, then I guess that would make you like my minions.
Happy to be your minion, Wells. No problem.
You might have to change your name from Welsknight to Wells King.
Doesn't roll off the tongue quite the same way, you know?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't really have the same ring to it.
Question is, will Mrs. Welsknight be moving in?
I don't know. Probably not. She'll probably be too busy, like, collecting flowers or something.
Here they come, riding majestically.
There you go.
Discord flaking out heavily.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Where's Choc Choc? Here he is.
So, Welsknight.
He's the master designer.
Is everyone here? Now everyone's here. There we go.
So,
if you're not here, raise your hand. I see no hands raised. We are, everyone is obviously here.
Oh, no, another slot. Hold on.
Where's another floor?
He's not
Hold on, see if I can get partner.
All right. Well, after much, well, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to come judge this competition. It's been a lot of fun. These are both some absolutely incredible builds. I think they both are just very creative in the way that they made use of 2 of the ugliest blocks in Minecraft. So it was kind of a hard decision. I think there were certain things that both builds did very well. I really liked that the Endstone Knights build had a good story, and I mean, I've always been a sucker for Greco-Roman architecture. I like a lot of the little finer details and sort of ornamentation on the builds, the creation of statues, etc., etc. But I think when it all comes down to it, I have to give the win to the Blackstone Knights and this castle. I think overall it did. It's just a bit more visually impressive from a distance. I think it did a really good job of sort of fully utilizing the space and sort of taking advantage of the terrain. But yeah, both builds very, very good, very impressive. But at the end of the day, I think I got to give it to the castle.
I've been containing a whoop, 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 whoop.
GG.
Hey, thank you, Welsknight. Awesome. And listen, really well played, guys.
Thank you, Welsknight. Thank you very much for that, mate.
So now,
well done.
Appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Hope to see you soon.
No, thank you. Thank you, Welsknight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll be taking the bribe money back,
though. What bribe money?
Touche.
And off he goes.
So there we have it. Welsknight has decided that the Blackstone Knights win this challenge with our amazing castle. So thanks to everybody involved. We've all done our bit and helped pull this project together, and it's been absolutely fantastic. We've really, really enjoyed it. Also, congratulations to the Endstone Knights for an incredible build. There's some beautiful gardens there. 5 buildings, in fact, that they built. So it must have been a really difficult choice for Welsknight, but the Blackstone Knights are victorious this time. Who will be victorious next time? Who knows? We've still got 4 challenges to go. But thank you so much for coming along with me. I appreciate it every time you come along. If you've enjoyed the episode, please press the like button and consider subscribing if you've really enjoyed it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.